Hello, everybody. It's Tactical Santa here, and we're starting the show off a little bit differently tonight. First off, Chief, the bearded chief, my brother from another mother, is at the hospital with his daughter, and the last thing that I heard was baby is on the move. So, Chief is not going to be here tonight, but we have an awesome show. As you guys can see, uh, Tactical Santa got a trim. I got rid of some transparency. For those of you who don't know, Chief did some stuff to his beard. And we'll talk about that next week when he's on. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. But anyway, I got some transparency cut. I'd like to send a big shout out to Johnny Cash Livingston for the awesome beard trims. He is the one that did the beard trims for myself and Chief. This guy is an unbelievable, amazing barber. And the cool thing is I get to say that I actually there was a couple spots he trimmed with the scissors. I got trimmed. He was using scissors that are $2,000. So I can say my beard got trimmed by some $2,000 scissors. But what I'd like to do right now is talk about Worlds for a minute. What an amazing time Worlds was. I had an awesome time. I met a lot of good people. What an awesome time to everybody that I met out there. It was so great. What a great gathering of everybody. And I made a reel that I would like to play. And the picture you see right now, that is Chief and I ready to take over the world at Worlds. And we both had a great time. Chief looked awesome in his outfit. I had the Tactical Santa spinner belt. I may have not taken first place in my division, but I guarantee you people remember what my outfit was. And without further ado, we got Bishop. What's up, brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, I'll tell you, I had such an awesome time at Worlds. I wish you would have been there, brother. We had a really great time, met lots of people. Just enjoyed my time. And the one thing I get to say, um, I got to stand on stage at Worlds with my brother, the Bearded Chief. So that
Yep.
was an amazing time. So tell us about your week, Bishop. How'd it go?
It was pretty good. I had a Saturday was off. I didn't have
Yeah,
a show this Saturday, but
right.
I was watching you guys on the live feed
Yeah,
all weekend long. So I mean, it was pretty epic.
right, right.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you, there were so many. I think they said there was 800 competitors through
Wow.
all the categories. Yeah, it was something else. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So what do you think, Bishop? Should we say hello to all the wonderful people out here that have joined us?
Oh yeah, I definitely think we should.
All right, we got Bane Blends. What's going on, Bane Blends? Appreciate your support and thank you for being part of Elf Team 6, my brother. We've got Tomahawk. What's happening, Tomahawk? We got Kilt Beard Co. What's
Okay.
going on? Sleigh bells mowing. What's going on, Santa? Hopefully you're keeping hydrated because he does landscaping and stuff. So hopefully
Yep.
you're keeping hydrated, brother. And we got the one and only Ronnie, the Swamp Pixie here. What's going on, Ronnie? Hopefully you're surviving the heat too, because I know where you're at. It gets really hot. Flaming Beard, what's going on,
Yep.
brother? Uh, Hopefully you're staying hydrated and is keeping cool too. And now we got another rock star in here. We got Ray Smokey.
So Ray
What's
Smokey.
going on, Ray Smokey? What's happening, brother? Let me see here. We got another brother in here. We got the Elegant Sasquatch. What's going on, Chris? How you doing, brother?
Yep.
And we got this guy. I got to meet this guy, Born Bearded Dave. Dude, you know when we had him on the show when and his beard looked really good?
Right.
You got to see it in person, man. He's got his beard is so awesome in person. And what a great, amazing guy, man. He was getting it in. He was working the True North booth and just having a great time with his better part, Kay. And
Okay.
she's such a sweetheart. And I was actually I don't have it with me. I should have grabbed it, but I got one of the mugs, Bishop.
One.
She
Oh,
had him
okay.
there.
Okay.
She had him there, and I was like, man, Kay, do you have a mug? And she goes, I do. I'm like, I gotta buy it now because I keep forgetting to buy it online. So I have one of those awesome mugs, man. I was so
Right.
happy about that. Who else do we have? Oh, right here. We got Garrett. What's going on, Bearded Squatch? What's going on, brother? Um, see here. Oh, Finest Mixed Breed. What's going on, brother? And you gotta remember, Bishop, Finest Mixed Breed, he's got that Riz. And let me tell you, man, um, the day of the show that he was going on stage, you should have seen how good he looked, man. He was up to the nines. He
I
was
go
looking
see.
good,
I saw some of the videos. They look both of him and Johnny
right?
Z. They look amazing.
Right. Well, hey, we got to do something really quick.
Yep.
Um, we got sponsored, so we got to bring this guy in because
All
we
right.
got some promos going on. So, without further ado, a word from our sponsors. Is he here? Is he here? Let me see what's going on, everybody. Here we go. There we go. We got our unpaid sponsor right there.
Monday Night Mayhem is brought to you by Arm& Hammer, shoe freshener for all those Jordans that are floating off the ground.
Right. Well, just so you guys know, we kind of got a sponsor, so I guess we're
Sorry
repping
about that.
Arm and Hammer. But what do you think, Bishop? Should we get some Arm and Hammer
Yeah.
spray?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty,
Hey, my camera fell off, man. I had it blocked.
right. Let's see. We got We got Melissa from Copper Johns. What's going on, sister? Just before we move on, just so hopefully, Melissa. So for those of you who don't know, Stacy is not going to be able to make it to the Buckeye Beard Battle.
Right.
So we're kind of in a dilemma, but I think Melissa from Copper Johns is possibly going to literally save our back.
Yep.
But she's going to be, hopefully, if things work out right and she can make it to the Buckeye Beer Battle, Melissa said that she would step up to the plate, save us, Bishop, and she would do the back waxing. So hopefully
Right.
that works out, because if that doesn't happen, I really don't have a backup plan to that. Because I know money's been taken and people want to see us get our backs whacked.
Yep.
So
Hey,
yeah.
the other option will be Chief, and we don't want that.
Yeah, he's gonna pull hard. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't know if I want my back waxed by a
Yep.
chief. That could be very, very bad. Let me
Oh
see
yeah.
here. Who else am I missing? Elegant K, got Ray. Here we go. Um, we got Cowboy Up. What's going on, Cowboy Up? Thanks for
Yep.
joining us. And let me see here. This moving kind of fast, so I'm trying to get. Here we go. We got
So far.
Sofa. What's going on, Sofa?
Hey.
Thanks for joining us. And look at this. What's
Uh,
going on, Chris? We got True North Chris. What's going on,
hey,
brother?
hey, I got some breaking news. Chief
Uh,
just got kicked out of the room.
oh, we did.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
sir.
So
It's
you
in
know
the
what?
chat.
You know what that means.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now. So, Chief,
Is
I
he?
just want to say we got your family in our prayers, brother.
Right,
Just let us know when the baby's here.
right. Alrighty. Jacked Up Leatherworks. What's going on, Jacob? What's
Yep.
happening?
Yep.
And we got the dapper man himself, Jeff Harmon.
Yep.
What's going on, Jeff Harmon?
Yes, sir.
How you doing? We got this guy, man. It was so awesome. I got to meet Brewer, man. I got to meet Brewer. It was awesome. And you know what? His beard is even more amazing in person, dude. Like, you see it on videos and you see him on his lives, but man, you get in
Right.
front of him, you're like, man, that beard is amazing. Heck yeah. Who else do we have here? I'm trying to catch up. Oh, look at this. Hi, Chief. Chief says, hi all. Things are good with Lana. Lots going on right now. That's right, brother.
Yep.
That grandbaby, that grandson's coming out soon, man. And we got 30 Spray J. What's going
Yep.
on, 30 Spray J? Who else do we have here? Man, this chat is moving fast, and I think I just got out of it. All right, that should be everybody. Okay. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I tried to do my best. And you know, Bishop,
Yep.
we're gonna go into some shows. So we got Tara. She's on Tuesday nights and Friday nights.
Yep.
It's always fun seeing her lives. I try to make them if I can. I really like them. We've got Melissa. She knows live Thursdays at 8 p.m. Man, if you check, dude, I love checking her show out too, man. The ladies are just killing it
Yep.
with these
They're
shows,
doing
man.
they're doing fantastic.
Doing really good. And then we got this guy right here, man. You ever heard of this
Yeah.
guy?
I've
Better
never
talk
heard
to
him.
Bishop. You're going on Saturday at 7 p.m.
Yes.
on your YouTube, right?
Yes, and I have Copper John. Hopefully,
Copper Johns.
hopefully Tyson and Logan. Hopefully Logan comes through, but
There we
definitely
go.
Copper John's
Heck
Tyson.
yeah. Heck
Definitely
yeah.
great show. So
Yep, that would be a good thing. Bearded Squash says Melissa said she would pull the wax strip and then slap them in the same spot. Oh man, we're in trouble, man. We
yep,
are
we
in
are
trouble.
definitely
Heck yeah. You know what was pretty cool? You're very welcome, Chris. Chief and I actually got to work the True North booth for a little bit, and we got some pictures of it. So that was pretty fun, man. That was really fun. Trace Amigos. I've been running around all day today, and I am a bad co-host because I forget who we have on. Um, Man, I can't believe I do this every Monday night. I always forget who we're having uh, but it'll be good. It's always good. You got Santa Tom, and who doesn't want to watch Santa Tom, right? Santa
right.
Tom is just amazing, and we always have awesome guests.
Uh,
After us is the Beard of Respect. Definitely, man. You know, a lot of respect goes out to these guys because they paved the way for us.
yeah.
So definitely check out the Beard of Respect. They're at 9 o'clock on YouTube. Check them out after us. And then the Suplex Syndicate, which has myself, Tactical Santa, the Elegant Sasquatch, and 30 Spray J, 7 p.m. on YouTube. Whether you like wrestling or not, we talk about a lot of cool stuff. Come join in, have some fun, and we go off the rails a lot too, so it's a fun time. Um, And then we got Baker.
Yeah,
He's got his show, What's the Crake? I always say it. Do I say that wrong, Bishop? Is
yeah.
it What's
No,
the
it's
Crack?
that was a Craig. You're
The
right. You're
Crake?
standing
What's
right.
the Crake? Okay, because I'm always afraid when I see it. I'm like, man, I'm always afraid I'm going to say it wrong. But big shout out to all these people doing shows. Love supporting everybody, and yeah, just awesome. So Bishop, we
Yep.
have got this guy right here. Look at how amazing this guy looks, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been actually wanting to do a live with him for a while. We've just had a hard time like getting things lined up. But without further ado, let's welcome the bearded Texan.
Yeah.
What's going
What's up?
on,
What's
brother?
up?
What's
Oh,
happening,
not
man?
much. Living the dream, guys. How are y'all?
Going
Pretty
good,
good.
dude. So, are you surviving the heat, my friend?
That's all we can do is survive the heat, brother. We just got to deal with it.
Oh yeah.
It's
Right,
here. It's here. So
right,
either deal with it or you hide, right?
right,
Sometimes I
Right.
hide. Sometimes I hide. Sometimes I
right,
hide.
right.
But
But
yeah, no, we're doing good. We're doing good. It's living the dream, guys. Living the dream. That's all we can
there
do.
we go. There we
Right.
go. So I'll tell you what. Without further ado, let's hit up our first thing tonight, and let the Texan answer this. What's in your beer today?
Yep.
What is in my beard? Actually, good. I was glad you asked that because I just got this here right today. This is Captain Corvus from Rugged Pirate
Yeah,
Beard Co.
yeah, yeah.
And came today. That's they do this monthly contest. I don't know if you've been
Mm-hmm.
on their pages, but they do this monthly
Yep.
contest, and this actually won the contest there last
Nice.
month. And
Right,
I just had to get it because I love dark scents, and I saw the
right,
profile on this one, and I'm like, oh man, I had to get this one. So came
right.
in the mail today, and I was stoked to open it up, and I'm like, yeah, beer scent swap.
You know,
Definitely going to get that one in.
I gotta tell you, I gotta grab it really quick because I thought it was awesome. I got this one from Rugged Pirate the other day. I haven't had a chance to put it in, but Sweet Boots Bella.
Yeah, I got that today too. Haven't
I
tried it
I
yet, but yeah,
I had to get it because I thought the artwork was awesome, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's got some cherry in it. Tactical Santa is an absolute cherry fiend, so I'm like, I got to pick it up. But
nice.
yeah, they're making some good stuff. What's in your beer, Bishop?
Man, I'm so I tried I tried the deodorant from I know we talk about deodorant and stuff like that from Sakai Beer Company. And that deodorant, the scent from the deodorant that I tried was the Journeyman, right? So I am trying this one right here, the Journeyman, the oil and the butter. I'm gonna go do a review on it, man. But this butter is creamy, creamy, creamy. I mean, it blend in pretty good in that scent. That
Right,
Journeyman, pretty
right,
decent.
right. We got El Pud that just joined the room, and you know who else we got? Let's see here. We got some new people in here.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's going on, Maker? What's happening? Thanks for joining the chat, Maker.
yeah.
Maker,
Hey,
what's
So
up, brother?
what's going on?
he said he
Um,
said he put in there. He said in the chat. He goes, "Tactical Santa Bureau Chief, you have been chosen." Hmm.
well, I guess that means I'm special in some way. I
We
don't
are
know, but
special,
whatever that means, Maker. Yeah.
right?
But thanks for joining the chat. Thanks for joining the
Right.
chat. Um,
I
I
feel left out.
I have I've got Juiced
Oh,
by True North Inn,
Ooh, yeah, that's a
and
good one.
yeah, I wanted to try it, and I went by the booth, and I'm like, oh my god, they got Juiced, and I'm like, yep, I had to buy it.
I,
So yeah,
funny story.
Hmm.
I just ordered that one.
did
Literally.
you?
Yeah.
You're not going to be disappointed, man. This one is really good. I like it. It was in there. Um, yeah,
Chris and Tara do
yeah,
some great tropical scents.
they do. They do.
They,
Yes,
man, I
they
tell you,
do.
they really do.
Yeah, but it all comes down to like B said, with the Boots Bella, I am a cherry
Yeah,
fiend. But yeah, speaking of deodorant, you were talking about deodorant, Bishop.
Yeah.
Sockeye does make some awesome
Yes.
deodorant. I used
I like
his.
how I mean I had other deodorants and you know that because we had talked about it.
Right,
He's the other deodorants I tried are good. Um, but I like how the whole bottle, the twisting bottle at the bottom, how it's
right,
rounded. It
right,
cleans pretty good. That scent is
right,
amazing. I'm going. When I tried this one, like I said, the Journeyman, it's kind of out of my comfort zone because I had never tried that combination. But I do like it. I gotta say, it feels real good in the beer.
Right.
So I give it to him. He's a well known by the deodorant, and this scent profile on the oil and the butter is pretty smooth. So
Right.
I gotta say that.
Well, talking about deodorant, Beard Texan, do you use any of these companies' deodorants? Have you tried any? Have you gone to the
I,
natural deodorant or no?
I use lather, the lather
Yeah.
deodorant, and I
Yeah.
use
Mhm.
Dapper Yankee.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I've gotten into. Now I know some guys they use all different kinds of them. I just don't
Right.
have the space for it, and I
Right.
am OCD. And you guys know we've spoken about it. I am OCD,
Right.
so I have a tendency to go off the chain with things, and I
Right.
would be sleeping on the back patio if I added more to my base and
Right.
any more of
Right.
my collection in the bathroom. I'd be in
Right.
trouble, and it's awful hot to sleep outside at night.
Right. No, I feel you. I feel you. I was actually the whole week of Worlds. I used Bane Blends, the
Right?
Lemon and the Thieves.
Yeah.
I had his
Nice.
deodorant on. I used Bearded Death's beard wash all week. And then I had a variety of when I went on stage, I was using Burning Daylight 2 by Florida Boys. That was what I
Okay.
wore on stage. For the 4th of
Nice.
July, I'm like, man, I had to take one for the 4th of July, and that was that Firecracker by Elegant Sasquatch.
Right.
It just
Nice.
fit. And I wore Tactical Santa the first day I was there. And I wore some True North on the way down. So yeah, so I had a lot of different companies in the beard at Worlds, but we had a fun time there.
Right.
That's my struggle. When I travel, man, I like to overpack because I don't like to wear the same thing twice.
Right.
Right,
And I change out 2 3 times a day usually. And it's like,
right.
man, I got to pack a whole other suitcase just for my beard stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, so I got they was when I was watching the live stream on the that George
Yeah.
that George in the corner, man, he had
Yeah.
his beard was
Big.
like woof, and
Right.
then long. It was like wow.
Right.
He definitely looked like a lion for sure.
Looks like we have our sponsor coming on again. So,
Okay.
here we go. So, it looks like we have a sponsor coming on again. Maybe. Here we go. Sponsor. Are we coming back on, sponsor? Here we go. There we go, sponsor. Are you there? It looks like the sponsor has froze.
Sprinkles.
He's coming on again. Let's see here. Man, I hope the sponsor's not paying by the minute because,
Yeah. We got
don't know what's going on there. Yep, he's in and out. Let's try this one more time. All right. There we go.
That's
you
the
go.
movement.
No, still frozen.
Still frozen. I do not what's going 30 spray J. I don't know what's going on, but you're frozen, brother.
Yeah.
Yep. All righty. Let's see. All righty.
So I got
So,
a question. I got a question real quick.
yep.
Here Texan.
Yo,
I know this past week it's been kind of crazy over there for the storms and
whew,
um
man.
Yeah.
all that flooding. I mean the lakes, because that's what it is. It looked like lakes.
Well, what
How
it is, when down here when it rains, it rains.
yes.
Right.
And it's not near me. It's about 5 hours from where I'm at, but I'm real familiar with
Wow.
the area. And yeah, it's a crying shame what happened. We got a lot of kids,
Right.
especially, that passed away in this whole deal. And what happened was we got like 10 inches of rain in an hour,
Wow.
That's
and
crazy.
this summer camp, which is where the main tragedy is really, was on the
Right.
Guadalupe River. Now it was set back
Right.
about 300 feet from the river, but that river rose 26 feet in an hour's time,
Wow.
and in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Right.
yeah, a lot of tragedy, and
I was watching on
it's
the news
crazy.
where there were this lady was saying her dad was on the bed and he couldn't move, and the water was like almost at the bed at the mattress level. That was pretty
Yeah,
insane.
it happens
All right.
like a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, we got somebody on.
Monday Night Mayhem, brought to you by Prostate Health. Pop a couple of these for your prostate and its health.
Wonderful.
We're all getting old. We're all getting old.
We are all getting old. That's right. That's right.
Every minute we're getting older. I try not
That's
to
right.
remind myself.
That's right.
All righty. So, next up, man code moments. Don't run from conflict, handle it with class. Silence ain't always strength. Stand your ground when it counts. Why don't we start off with you, Bishop? What do you think about that?
Well, um, you always got to be present yourself, be the man, the bigger man, I guess, a bigger person, and I mean, it's not just let them slap you around and put the other hand, but you got to be presentable. It takes a real man to walk away. What about that?
Sure,
It
sure,
takes a real man to walk away. Anybody could just threw their dukes up and fight. The other thing is
right,
nowadays it's not like it used to be back in the day. All you needed was
right,
this two. Now it's everybody will pull a gun or a knife and then
right,
I
right,
mean, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with the pew pews, right? But it's not like it used to be back in the day, right?
right,
Uh
right,
you had a problem with somebody, you duke it out, right?
right, right, right. What about you, Bearded Texan? What do you think?
I'm a stand your ground guy. I
Yeah,
mean, you know, I don't back down. I'll never start a fight, but I'll finish one.
right,
It's but at the same time, I'm going to try to finish that fight with words before I'll go to,
right,
to
Yeah,
violence. You know,
right,
don't get me wrong. 9 times out of 10, you could win any battle with words if you're
right,
smart.
right,
You just use tact, keep your
right,
integrity. 9 times out of 10, you're
right.
going to be able to diffuse that situation. If
Sure,
it doesn't
right,
diffuse, well, then it's another
right,
story.
right,
Then we go
right,
from there. But
right,
that's my stance. I mean, especially if someone's women, children being bullied, anything like that. That I don't fly with this guy. So
right.
right,
that's you know standing
right.
ground for me. It's
Sure,
I'll never walk away. If I'm being hands, I'll handle it. You know, I'll
right,
I'll I'll walk if it's not worth it. If somebody's bringing a gun to a knife fight, I ain't dealing with it.
Right.
right,
But thankfully I've never had to come across that situation. But like I said, I don't go looking for it either. So it's
right,
if it comes to me, it's one thing. But
right,
like you said, Bishop, you never know what you're dealing with these days
Right.
because
right,
people don't believe in using fists anymore, using words. They go right
Yeah.
to the old,
Yeah.
right, right.
Right.
pew
That's
pew. So
some of the things I always preach, especially, it all depends too. Like, I carry a firearm every day. I carry it everywhere I
mhm,
go. So everything that I do, especially being a bodyguard that I used to be, is everything that I do is avoid conflict, right? I kind
sure,
of preach the gospel of please, thank you, I'm sorry, and excuse me, will get you out of everything. Because at the end of the day, if some random dude comes up to me, I don't know him, hey man, I'm sorry, as long as I can get away, because I don't want to have to deal with paying an attorney. I don't want to have to deal with jail time. I don't want to lose everything. But I also think that there is a line that's, in the sand, right? Like if I
that's right.
am out with, if I was out with my girlfriend and her two little girls, if somebody were to touch any of those three, um,
That's right.
it's going to be done. But I got big shoulders, if they want to mess with me, I can usually talk them out of it, or I can de-escalate and get away, because the problem nowadays is that nobody wins, right? If
Nope,
it
Right.
comes to guns, or it comes to throwing punches, even if you win, now you
you don't
risk
win.
getting sued and how much stuff. So, conflict avoidance, de-escalation, and hey, I'm out of here. I
Right.
really preach the gospel too, because at 51 years old, I really don't have to prove myself to anybody. I have nothing to prove. I'll just rather
No,
go. But yeah,
that's
but
it.
sometimes, depending on the situation, you have to stand your ground on stuff. I
Yeah.
completely agree. So I think all of us are pretty on the same page about this kind of thing. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like you said, there's a line. I mean,
Right.
there's stuff that's worth battling for, but
Right.
then most stuff is just stupid. Like
Right.
the road rage. Road rage is so big down here in the Houston area.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my
Right.
goodness, fools getting out of their cars, smashing windows, of other vehicles. I mean, really, man, that's just
Right. Gets a little
people are
crazy.
unhinged. Yeah, so you're better to just avoid it, like you said, because people have a tendency to be unhinged these days.
Right. 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 Well, all right, fellas. When brotherhood turns one-sided, you show up for everyone, but who's showing up for you? Why don't you start this off, Bearded Texan?
So I will stand up for my friends, my family, you know, till the end. And
Right.
you know what? I keep my circle is small. I don't have a big circle of
Right.
friends, and and honestly, most of my friends, I don't know, I'm a Christian guy. Most of my friends are from church, to be honest with you. and
Right.
you know, and I'm lucky to have a tight knit group of friends,
Right.
and thankfully, I know that I have a handful of people that would have my back, you know, just
Right.
like I would have their back, and I think that is because, you know, because I keep that group small, right? You know,
Right.
I'm friends with a lot of people. I'm acquaintances, like in the beer community, I know a lot of people, you know, but tight friends, that
Right.
group is small. That group is small, but
Right.
I'm always there
Exactly.
for anybody, and you know, anybody that's there for me, you know, big ups
Right.
because you know I have a lot of respect for that.
Right.
Right. What about you, Bishop?
Well, you have to be. Um, Unfortunately, that happens quite a bit where you be there for your brother, or brothers, and then um, you got to expect that sometimes they're not gonna be there for you. Unfortunately, right? But
Right.
the main thing is just be honest to yourself. I value friendship a lot.
Right.
Like we had talking the show, just even a hello or hey, how you doing
Right.
today? It just a lot, right?
Right.
So
Right.
on that subject, you go just you
Right.
don't wait. I would say don't wait to check on your brothers.
Right.
Initiate
Right.
that first step, right? You never
Right.
know. You could keep waiting, and uh, you might be waiting for a long time.
Right.
So
Right. You know, like I'm there for my brothers too, you know. I have had a couple brothers where I had to, because it's always like it says one-sided, right? You always have that one brother that I need help, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. And then you ask him one small thing, oh man, I can't do it. I ain't got time for you. And it's consistent, I ain't got time for you. But anytime that they need something, you know, you got to drop what you're doing to help them. And I'll help any of my brothers out, but you know, when you get that one that is like it's one-sided, and then you almost feel like you're getting used, right? Like, is this really my brother, or are they just using me, you know, to get connections or whatever? So I think sometimes there's a fine line with that, right? I mean, I get it. If I got a brother who's down on his luck and he needs a lot of help, I'm there for him, right? But if it's somebody where it's like I've had, you know, brothers do this. Oh man, I'm this and this and this, and I give them some money, right? And the next thing I know, they're going out partying at bars and nightclubs. And I'm like, wait a minute. You told me, you know, you and your family's going through a rough time, but all of a
right,
sudden you're at the bar spending $100. Like, I can't do that for you. You know, like you should have taken that money because I thought you needed to get groceries or do something like that. And you went and spent it at the bar. So, yeah. So I think there's a fine line, right? I think all of us are willing to help our brothers out. But if it comes to a point where you feel that you're getting taken advantage of, that's when you kind of like stop helping out so much, you
right,
know?
Yeah, and you got to reevaluate if that's really a friend at the
yeah,
same time. You know, that's
Right,
you know, and you got go by the old adage, right? Fool me once, shame on
right,
you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know,
right,
so you know, and you know, I'm a pretty giving person, but like you know, at the same time, you know, you don't want to be taken advantage of, and
right,
you know,
right,
that's and yeah, no, it's I think there is that line you have to draw. You know,
right,
I'm a giving person. I'll do anything for a friend. You know,
right.
but you
Mhm.
know, like you said, if it gets you know, and they don't have that reciprocal, you know,
Right,
you got to reevaluate the situation, right? You always got to
right.
reevaluate
you're right.
You know,
because
this is awesome right here. Fox Dash says, "Sometimes the worst thing you can do for someone is give them help. Pearls
Right.
before swine."
Hey,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
yeah,
yep. Well, all right, fellas. How about this one? If your EDC costs more than your car note, you're not tactical, you're compensating. What do you think, Bearded Texan?
absolutely, absolutely. If you're spending if you're spending 3 grand on your EDC, you got something else going on there, man. My EDC cost me about 500, if that. Not even the one I'm carrying now. I'm carrying a Ruger LC9S. You know,
Right,
cheap
right,
9 mm pocket gun gets the job done. You know,
right, right,
could I
right.
could I carry my 5.7? You know, my Ruger 5.7. Love that gun. You know, but
Sure.
why would I do that? You know, but I think that 100%. If you're carrying this blinged out 1911, it's
Right,
all show.
right. You know, I got to ride a fine line on this one because I'll get myself in trouble. So I carry Glocks, right? And I don't Gucci them out, but I upgrade them because I want them to perform how I want them to perform, right? So I mean,
Sure.
my everyday carry Glocks probably got anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 into them, right? Barrels, trigger work, tungsten guide rod springs, red dots on them, and all these other accessories. But I don't do that to show off, right? Everything that I do a firearm is for functionality, right? Because I want it to run how I
Yeah.
want it to run. But
Sure.
I see some of these people, man, they spend like $3,000 on Gucci Glocks, and you're like, yeah, I mean,
Gold
it's
plated,
funny.
diamond studded
Yep.
Right, right.
madness.
I mean, just all
Floyd
sorts of
Mayweather.
crazy. Right, right. I mean, they are just done up, like I really can't pick on people because I know guys that have $500-600 knives, right? And but at least they're not like so like in my industry when people buy these, like Gucci guns and then they sit in the safe and they're barbecue guns, right? They only
Right.
come out to when they go to the barbecue to show them off. They don't carry them, but
Yeah.
the difference is these guys that are spending big money on knives, right? They're
Mm.
actually carrying them every day as a tool, right? So I can't really knock them too much because I'm like, all right, you're carrying it, you're using it as a tool, so it's not sitting in some locker or something like that, But then you find the ones that are like, I've had, what's the most expensive gun I can buy? Well, why? Well, that way I can show it off. And I'm like, okay, okay.
And they
So
and they
yeah.
can't hit the broadside of a barn with it.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
They never
Well,
went to the range in their life,
the more money you spend on a gun, the skill set comes with it, right? You don't have to practice. You buy the most expensive, and you should be a marksmanship just by buying it, right? But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny um, that people do that. But like I said, I don't have a problem if you're building it for to be functional.
Yeah. Tactical, functional
But
purpose.
right,
That's one thing.
right.
A
But when
gold
you're
plated,
just
diamond
yeah,
studded 1911 is
right,
another thing.
right, right. What do you think, Bishop?
Well, I don't carry. I don't even though here in Oklahoma it's an open carry state. I don't carry no more. Uh, boy. But uh, my one it used to be the 1911. That's my favorite one. I
Yeah,
had one before, and unfortunately, you know, I had went through some hard times a couple years ago, and I had to get rid of it. No
right,
shame on it. That's what sometimes it's an investment, right? Like buying a pew pew is kind of an investment if you do it the
right,
right way. Um,
Hmm.
but I I agree with you. I've seen some guys that they buy some expensive toys and then like over
right.
here, oil field. I know where he's from Texas. You see that a lot. The oil field. You know when the oil field's booming because these guys buy their toys.
Oh yeah, oh
When
yeah.
the oil
Yeah,
field goes down, then toys come for sale. Uh,
Right.
I just never
that's what
got
I
into
do,
that.
brother. I
Yeah.
work for an oil company, so
Oh, do
yeah,
you? Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I talk to these new guys coming in all the time because it pays darn good when the oil's good. I'm like, don't
Yep.
be going out and blowing all your money on new boats, new trucks, new house, new
Oh yeah.
guns. You got to
Right.
save for a rainy day because if you don't, you're just going to be trading in or
Yep.
losing it to repo.
I used
That's
to
right.
Absolutely right.
I used to work for the oil field from
Yeah.
2012 to 2017. One the company I was working for closed, and I knew it was closed because I seen you see the trends, and
Hmm.
then we went from working 100 almost 147 hours every 2 weeks to working barely 80. So I knew
Sure.
it was
Right.
going down. Then after that, I just moved out to another company. I don't do oil fields no more because I learned my lesson.
Feast or
Right.
famine, brother. You got to save for a rainy day. My
Yep.
company was bought here by Conoco, so my
Right.
job actually ends in November. So I
Looks
feel
Wow.
your
looks like
pain. I feel your
looks
pain.
like we have another paid sponsorship coming on.
Oh,
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Monday Night Mayhem brought to you by Gold Bond Taping Spray. For your everyday needs when it rubs together.
Thank God for Gold Bond living in Texas, brothers.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Right.
so
Oh,
so you're texting. I got a funny story because I had told this to the guys. So when I grew up in Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio, right?
Hmm.
So when I came over in 2012, I came over. It was about right about August when I started, and I started working right away in the oil field. So I work in the oil field, and then the guys were saying, "Hey, you guys getting ready for winter? What's your size for the overalls and the insulated overalls?" I don't need that. I'm from Ohio.
Right.
Let me
Right.
tell you something. The first week of my first week when he got cold, yeah, I was crawling back. I said, I need that overall. Because it
Right?
was
Yeah.
different.
Oklahoma still gets cold. You still get
Oh
ice
yeah.
and snow up there,
Oh
bro.
Heck
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Hey, the warm spot was between the two tanks where the water tanks when they were hot. Yeah, you get in there and you're
Mhm.
just trying to. Oh yeah,
Would you work frac?
yeah, fracking,
Huh?
and I was holding water.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep,
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Smart place
Well,
to be.
right.
yep.
Well, all right, fellas. Moving on. Trend wreck or trend check? TikTok experts on every topic, digital scholars, or algorithm frauds. What do you think, Bishop?
Oh man. So I'm new to this. So for me, I'm barely figuring it out the whole social media. I was doing good on Instagram, and then how Instagram started having their problems, and then we switched this show to YouTube, and I switched to YouTube. So I haven't done too much on Instagram. It says
Right,
uh, some of the videos and stuff like that, but I try to stay as most out of rhythm as possible. I'm still learning. That's just an um, for me still a
right,
topic that I'm learning, right?
right.
So
Yeah. What do you think, Bearded Texan?
Well, for myself, I'm an old man who doesn't learn very quickly. So a lot of my videos and stuff that I put out, I use AI a lot with the generation of the all
Yeah,
the
right,
fancy graphics and video effects because man, I am just too old to learn that stuff. I try and I get frustrated. It's
right,
I have ADHD, so I can't keep my
right,
attention span for longer than 32
right,
seconds. And
right,
but I think the AI is helpful. I still do all my own video feeds, right? I mean,
right,
I run all my videos and but
right,
I'm pretty basic. A lot of people ask why I don't get on and do something like this, and I'd like to do it, but you know what? I tried it once and I did it. I couldn't get YouTube to work right, and I'm like, oh, I just got so
right.
frustrated by it. You know, I don't know if y'all know. I don't think y'all have been on my Friday night chats. I run it off of Discord
Yeah,
through
yeah.
the Beard of Texas
Right,
page, and
right,
and that took me forever to learn.
right,
Finally I got that down. I had actually Blake Hughes actually helped me set that up because I couldn't even do
right,
that. So you know,
right.
I'm
Yep,
definitely not the smartest guy in the room when it comes to the
right,
technology, but
right,
if I
right,
can surround some smart people around me, usually I can find my way
right,
through it.
right. I'm kind of the same thing. It takes me a minute to learn. Like, I'm still confused about the algorithm, how it works, and especially with everything. But the problem I think, like with here, what I see is that have you noticed how many people get on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and they like read something and then they think they're an expert about it and then they start doing whole series on stuff like for firearms example, right?
right,
I've seen these influencers or these content creators and you're like and they're spreading so much misinformation. You're like, you're definitely not an expert, but the problem is because they have, let's
Views.
say, a million subscribers, right?
right.
Oh, this guy, he's got to be the expert or she's got to be the expert. It's like, nope. So, that's what kind of sucks is that there's a lot of misinformation with some of these TikTokers and Instagram people that think they're experts in a field. It would kind of be like me going on and saying, well, you know what, I'm an expert at making beard products
Right.
because I can read a carrier blend, you know, and I can be like, oh, I can put some, I can do that too, right? And everybody should look at me and say, no, you're full of crap and you're disinformation. But the problem is, if I had a million followers, everybody'd be like, oh, he must be. He's got a million followers, so
Right.
he must make. So it's just one of those things. I think people don't disseminate when they watch some of these TikTokers and Instagrammers if they truly do know what they're talking about.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, and I
yeah,
think a lot of that is about likes and subscribes
right,
too, because of monetization, right? I mean,
right,
people are using this trying to do a lot of this for their main source of income, right?
right,
And
right,
and they're just going to put whatever out there, whatever garners the views, right? Whatever
Right.
or
right,
the
right,
or the subs, right? I mean,
right, right.
yeah, You know,
whatever's hot today. Well, I'm this because you see
right?
it so much. You see it so much
Yeah,
happening. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And like yourself, I do reviews, but reviews are subjective. It's what my
Right,
opinion is. It doesn't
right,
make it right or wrong. What I use and
right.
I like, you may not like, and you might think
For
it's
sure,
absolutely garbage.
for sure.
So it's
Right,
always subjective. I never claim to be an expert at anything.
right,
Right.
right. Exactly, exactly.
you know.
All right, fellas. Moving on.
Hey, you saw that we got Mike in the house, right?
Yes, yes. I put him up there. What's going on, Hep Wizard?
Yes, sir.
My brother from another mother and the host of Buckeye Beard Battle, which we'll be talking about soon. But straightening your
Good.
beard daily, clean look or crispy beard crime. What do you guys think on that?
Man, I think it's a personal preference. I had a longer beard. I don't know if y'all remember when I had a longer
Right,
beard, but I had to cut it down when I started playing rugby. But
right.
it would depend on how I feel and the humidity. Like humidity
Right.
plays a huge factor, man. It just
Yeah.
goes boom. It would go all over the place. So I'd have to use that straightener, But
Right.
I prefer the au naturel because it just destroys the beard, man.
Right.
My
Yeah.
straightener just made me crispy, and if I had my way, I would, if I had my long beard again, I would not use it. I would not use
Right.
a straightener again. I'd
You know what kind of
let it
scared
flow.
me is so I have one of those Aberlite beard straighteners, right?
Mm,
So I first started, and the problem is having a gray beard, you have to go higher in the heat.
Right.
right.
Okay. So I get the beard oil in. I'm like, all right, now I'm going there, and all of a sudden, man, I'm seeing like stuff smoke. I'm like, I don't, and I was like, I don't know if I want to. I mean, the crazy thing was sometimes I'd have awesome results, right? Like I would do it, man, it would just straighten, right? Like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I kind of reminded me of, like Gandalf the Wizard, where it's just really straight and everything.
Right.
I'm like, that's awesome, right? And then other times you're like, what's going on? Why isn't it doing it? Like, am I just sitting here
Mm-hmm.
burning my beard up? So I'm really the most I do now is I'll use the hair dryer, but I
Mm-hmm.
always make sure that I give it a cold blast. Like I'll heat it, do my thing, and then cold blast it because I'm like, man, I just don't want to heat damage the beard. I get like really afraid of doing that now.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? Sorry if I interrupt you, man, but hey, uh, I just keep seeing the maker out there. Hey, if you want to
Yeah.
pop in and come in, just let us know, send us a message. We will have you in the show for sure.
Yeah.
Pop them
The
up.
maker.
Let's talk about this at the
Yeah,
end.
let's bring
That's
him
at
out.
the end, but
Right.
yeah, I don't think he's going to come on. I would have to send him a thing, but let's leave that to the end. I want to. Dude. We got the bearded Texan on. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
wanting to talk to him forever, and let's rock this show because I'm not sure if it's a troll or not. So we're not going to give the troll any attention. But anyway, yeah. So what about you, Bishop? With the you because I know you have a beard straightener too, don't
Yep.
you?
I have two. I have a wireless and a wire. To be honest, I have not used it in over a month
Right.
because I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the beer ready for September,
Buckeye. Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
trying to get it ready and set up and kind of without using heat because I know for the
yeah.
competition you can use heat. But I use a comb, the Chicago comb, and I use number
Right,
10 in this one, and I
right,
use the brush. And I'm
yeah,
trying some, a couple
right,
days I try to go without no heat, and like I said, I haven't used it in over 30 days. I haven't even used heat, blow dryer or anything like that. Just because I'm
right,
trying, to get a natural,
right,
right?
right.
So
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it like just like we all said about others, it's subjective, right? It's personal opinion. Some
right,
guys love using heat all the time. I think I'll put it this way: if I didn't have a gray beard and I didn't have to do the temperature high,
right,
I'd probably be like, okay, I can do it. But I'm so afraid because you have to. Because I think I had to run the Aberlite at like 400
right,
Ooh.
to do it. And so I'm like, yeah, I just, you know what? I don't want to take a chance of frying the beard, so I don't use it. I mean, I don't care. I'm
right,
not in a beard competition every day. It's going to get messed up anyway. I
right.
carry a brush, so I'll just, whatever, man. It's
Yeah.
not that
Hey,
important
so
to
let me
me.
ask you that. Let me ask you this question. The first time,
Mhm.
because I know the first time I tried it, and when it sizzles, I was like, I freaked out. I thought I
Yeah, yeah,
was,
right,
yeah.
right,
So I've done that a few times, but like I said, now I got it. I got
right,
this 7-in-1 that's kind of it's styling brush and all that.
Right.
And
Right.
it works better. I don't hear
Right.
the sizzling anymore, right?
Right. Looks like we got another sponsorship coming in.
Oh,
Speaking of sizzling, Monday Night Mayhem is brought to you by hemorrhoid ointment for all that sizzling pain in your butts.
You know,
It,
these
it's
sponsorships are terrible, man. Like,
it adds humor, though. I will tell you that much. It definitely adds humor.
right, right. Yeah, so we got what we got so far. We got spray to put in your shoes.
We got
right.
the Armor Hammer,
We got gold bonds to spray
Gold
yourself.
Bond.
We got the hemorrhoid cream, and then we had something else. I forget what else we had. Uh, yeah,
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 there was one more. I can't remember what it
yeah.
was.
Right. Well, all right. That's pretty cool. We all got, I wonder though with people, that do have lighter beards, how, like in the chat, if you use a beard straightener, are you using it every day or are you just using it on special occasions? Because I don't know how that would like treat a beard if you're using heat every day like that. You know, um, I wonder though if you're using it every day, do you have to condition more often? Because is
God,
it
I would
drawn?
think.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
I
would
bet
think you
you,
would because it just tears it up, right? Like,
right,
so, Bishop said, I got scared when I used it too because I had heard the sizzle. I had to get the, Mrs. Bearded Texan because she straightens her hair
right.
all the time. I'm
Oh,
like, what
gotcha,
is
gotcha.
going on?
Right,
I'm like, what is going on here? And she actually had to show me how to use that thing, so I didn't get the fizzle fry. And yeah,
right.
but like you
Right.
said, I would think I had to use conditioner a heck of a lot more because
Yeah,
it just feels crispy. It just, you
right.
know, being
Yeah,
Yeah.
OCD, man, that was driving me crazy.
right, right, right. Well, alrighty, fellas. Barbershop philosophy. Why don't men compliment each other more? Do we hype each other up or is ego in the way? What do you think? What do you think, guys?
Yeah. I think it's getting better. I
Right,
think there's a macho-ness that's out there, a macho ego that,
right,
prevents a lot of guys. And now being in Texas, I'll tell you, there's a lot of
Right.
there's a lot of ego and a lot of macho. So you don't
right,
show emotion, and you don't, you
right.
don't, you know, you hide emotion. So, but I think it's getting better, and I think it's getting a lot better in the bearded community.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the bearded community is different than a lot of the outside realm, right? I mean,
Sure.
it's really like a brotherhood, and
Right.
on these, like my chats I do on Friday nights, it's really, we've got a great group of guys, and
Right,
people have problems, we talk each other out, and
right,
where everybody's there for each other, we build each other up, and we're there for each other when we're down, and I see that
right,
amongst a lot of the beer community, and I think
right,
that's what makes the beer community special.
right,
Right.
right. Like when I was at Worlds, man, you should have seen like in that environment, right, dude? I was going up to so many people going, "Oh my god, man, your beard looks fantastic. Your outfit looks awesome. Mustache looks good." I mean, I was just hitting people up, and people were hitting me up. But it's kind of. I think maybe it's like depending on your environment, right?
Yeah,
Um, Sometimes you're kind of like, "Oh, maybe this isn't the right spot for me." To walk up to this dude, and be like, "Hey, dude, awesome beard," because maybe it's just not the right time. But I try to, I think what bearded guys do, if you've noticed this, is like sometimes you're walking around somewhere and you see somebody with a beard and you just kind of give them that, and
that's
they
right.
know. They know. You know
Right.
what I
Yeah,
mean? It's kind of like
or
you don't have to say nothing like,
Right.
give
But
them the hat
I
tip.
right, right. But I think though, like I think I agree with you 100% though, because in the bearded community, everybody tries to hype each other up and that maybe it's just people when you see strangers on the street, maybe they're just too shy, or maybe you're kind of like, I don't know how this person's going to take it. Maybe that's why they don't do it so much. What's your take on it, Bishop?
Man, I got it. I got to double what you guys say because it is true. Like you say, I think nowadays it's way better because you see somebody with a nice beard, all you got to do is like, and they know exactly what you're talking about.
Right,
Thumbs up or like, just let them know that
right,
that beard's on point.
right.
So,
Well,
uh,
does this happen to you? Like you see somebody with a phenomenal beard, right? And I do the tip, and I'm like, man, I want to go over and ask this guy, like, what kind of
Yeah.
oil you're using, what balm you're using, or what butter you're using, like how are you maintaining this
Right.
glorious beard, right? I just want to know, or hey, what's your beard routine, or because it's kind of like the beard is kind of like the conversation starter, right? Like it
Right.
opens up to like talking. But yeah, I've come across a couple guys. I'm like, dude, what are you using, man? Because
Yeah.
that beard is like insane, But yeah, I think
Man.
it opens up combo.
So
Yeah,
I
it's the
had a
ultimate icebreaker.
yeah,
Right,
it is. So I had a this weekend. It's funny you said that because this weekend I had an experience. I unfortunately I had to call the cops. We had
right,
a salesperson here was bothering my. He come over after my wife told him no. He didn't let her back out the driveway, and I told her I said you should have run him over. But anyways, I ended up calling the cops, make a report,
Ooh-wee.
and come to find out that dude, the cop, he's 27 years old. He looked like a baby face. He recognized it what I was doing on the YouTube, and he goes,
right,
"Man, I followed you like a lot." And I was like, he goes, um, why do you he asking me question like why do I recommend for his beer and stuff like that, and
right.
literally the report took 5 minutes. He stayed talking for like 15 minutes after that, just
Yeah, yeah,
questions and
right,
so it was
right.
pretty cool though. That was pretty cool.
It's kind of funny, like, we'll kind of like go into this. Is it kind of crazy when people like recognize you from either Facebook or YouTube channel? Like what blew my mind away was I made a post at World Saturday. Okay, that was the final day, and I was all dressed up in the outfit I was wearing, right? And I made a reel on that, and I actually had people that were there that saw the post and realized I was at Worlds and came tracking me down because they wanted pictures with me.
Right.
And what blew me out was a guy. He did the chops division, and this guy like just huge chops and everything. He actually finished second. He's second in the world, right?
On chops,
And he,
right?
yeah, chops. And he's like, I saw you were here today. I had to take my picture. And I'm like, dude, you're number 2 in the world, man. I'm just tactical saying I need a picture with you. And he did it. I had a Santa Claus from Brazil track me down. He's like, Santa. And I'm like, me? Like, this guy, like, he could have been, he's at the same level as Santa Tom as far as the
Yeah.
outfit, everything, the full Santa, everything. He's like, Santa. I'm like, looking around, I'm like, what are you talking about? You're Santa. He goes, I have to have a picture with Tactical Santa. I'm like, yeah, not a problem, man. We can do
Now,
it. But it's funny when people realize recognize you or track you down in public,
right.
right?
Now
Yeah.
was that the Santa that he at the competition he was dressed up as Santa?
Yeah, yeah, he was dressed up
Okay,
as
that's what.
Santa. Real big dude, real big dude. Like
Yeah,
Chief goes, "Oh my god, that guy makes me look small." I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah.
dude, look at
I
how
saw the
big this
pictures.
Santa is, man." Yeah,
And,
so but it,
and
it was super cool.
you was talking about chops, man. We got to give it out to Baker because he
Yeah.
participated and
Well,
he
he
took
did
number.
goatee. He did
Yeah. Oh,
goatee.
okay. I thought
Yeah,
it.
he
Yeah,
did
go see.
goatee.
And he still got like what number 10?
Yeah, Baker I think got 7 or 10. I can't
That's pretty
remember.
good.
Yeah,
That's I mean
yeah.
that's
And let's be honest, guys. Like even if you place, like I had 28 in my
right.
category, right? Even if I place, well, I'm hoping I place 23. There's a reason for that, but even if
No,
I do, I can say that I'm
You win.
23 in the world, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's right.
I'm 20. So, I mean, it's super cool. And I was glad to see Baker competed too, man. Cause he shaved his sideburns off and he went full goatee.
Right.
And and he was really, I talked to him. He's like, man, I'm so happy I did it too. I'm like, I'm so happy you did it too. Cause you can
And,
say you stepped on the world stage,
and let
right?
me tell you, there was some huge beers out there, and
Dude.
the state
Right.
and the group that
Right.
you and Chief was at, there was some
Right.
huge beers.
Well, since he's not on, so we're sitting in the back. We came into the backstage, right? And Chief's looking because I told Chief, I'm like, look, dude, I know I don't have a chance. I got transparency and all this. I'm just doing it so I can be on stage with my brother.
Right.
I just, gonna do the tactical Santa thing.
Right.
But I'm like, Chief, man, because Chief has an epic beard, right?
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, man, these big beard dudes start coming
Yeah.
in just crazy. And I'm looking at Chief, and they split us up into 2 heats, right? And Chief looks at me, and goes, all right, man, we're just gonna have fun. I'm like, yes, we are, because we're both like,
That's good.
we ain't got a prayer against these
That's
guys,
right.
But fun was fun. We had fun to do our thing. So I mean, I got to step on stage. Like I said, I knew I was
Right.
with my brother and Pete, and fun.
Right.
mean, it's a lot of fun. But speaking of, we're all three going to be here, and TEXAN, you're going to be
I
there, right?
am. Yeah, first
You're,
time. Looking forward to it.
you're an MC. Bearded is going to be. I am actually going to be a judge. I don't know if he picked me. I've never judged anything, but we're going to have fun. Talk about the book
Nope.
man. All these amazing Wizard puts on an amazing show. The cool thing that I think he did right this year was he's got some MC, so he's not busy trying to MC it and take care of everything. I think he's going to be taking,
Right.
doing more of the heavy lifting, letting Chief and Bearded Texan MC. He's got judges this year that are friends. So, but man, I had fun in the venue, man. The venue is much bigger this year. They have good food, they have drink there, they have a big parking lot. It's going to be awesome. We got the Combat to Kayaks charity going on. You know, we're getting waxed. Myself, Bishop, and 30 Spray J.
Yep.
We're getting waxed. So that's in there. We're gonna try to raise some more money for that. Speaking of waxing, hopefully Melissa from Copper John saves us, so we don't
Right.
have to have Chief rip hair off of us because what'll happen is Chief will be like, well, here's what's gonna happen, guys. Since
Yeah.
I'm an MC and the Bearded Texan is an MC, we're ripping hair off your back. And I'm like, God, yeah. So Melissa, I hope you can make it
Please.
happen. Please, because if these two guys start ripping, they're probably going to take skin off of us. So, yeah.
Right.
Well,
Hey,
Melissa might get us too.
and I'm also
She works out. She's strong.
oh
She
yeah,
might rip.
she is
Yeah.
strong. I'm also
Yeah.
gonna be competing. That'd be my first competition ever.
Right.
So I'm excited about it. Definitely excited.
Right.
So
Right. But it's going to be a fun time. A 1-day event, September 6th. All these bands are, I guess you could call them small batch bands, right? Because
right,
they're not huge yet. They do a lot of stuff for charity too. They're donating their time. This whole concert's charity. The whole
right.
competition is charity. So, check some of these bands out. I believe a lot of them are on
Spotify.
iTunes. Yeah,
iTunes.
Yeah,
Spotify.
iTunes,
I think.
Spotify.
Yeah,
Yeah. These
yeah,
bands are great. I mean,
yeah. They
big up
are.
to Mike Wiseman because Mike, man,
Right.
he really supports this scene, this alt metal
Yes, he
scene,
does.
which
Right.
Right,
I've been a fan of it. Me and Mike have that in common.
Right.
It's because I'm originally from the north, so I know
Yeah. Yeah.
Western New York area originally,
Right.
and
Right.
we know a lot of the same bands, and it's really
Right.
awesome. How he supports these
Right.
guys and they support back, and definitely
Right.
check these bands out because some great bands there. If you like metal, or
Right.
new age metal,
Right.
just great
Right.
stuff. Black Sasquatch, fantastic.
Right. You
yeah,
know how Chris from True North is always working, like we always see him working.
yeah,
Mike Wiseman is
Always.
always. I wonder who works more, Chris or Mike, because those guys, every time you talk to them or whatever, they're always working, right? With the Hemp Wizard, whether it's working on new stuff for Hemp Wizard, or he's actually working his job and he's trying to get together a beard battle and he's got like 10 irons in the fire. And then you got
right,
Chris from True North, man. He's always working. He's doing his lives from the workshop and he's always working. So these guys are always working, man. You're like, holy crap. They don't have time for anything else. But give it up to Mike Wiseman. Please come out if you're close, man. I'll tell you what, if you're within, I would say, driving distance, 500 miles, man, it is worth to come to this thing. If you got to fly, whatever you got to do to make it to the Buckeye Beard Battle,
that's right.
make it there. You're going to have a lot of fun, and everything goes to charity, supporting a great thing. And at the end of the day, I mean, you get to see myself, Bishop, and 30 Spray J get hair ripped off our back. I mean,
Right, right.
sounds entertaining, right? I mean,
That's
it
right.
should be pretty entertaining. I
Right.
mean,
And I think most of them, most of if not all of these bands are local from Ohio.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's doing
I
great.
believe that's the
a lot of them.
caveat. I think
Yeah.
all of them are from
Hey,
Ohio. Yeah,
and I don't want to hear nobody say that's too far. I'm driving 17 hours just to be
right,
there.
You're
right.
driving up. God bless you,
Yeah.
brother. Man,
I
I'm
don't
getting on
fly.
that
I
Big
don't
Yeah,
Sur.
fly. I used to drive truck for 21 years.
right.
So,
Here we
God
go. You
bless
know
you.
what we got to do? You know what we should do? So Brewer says, my driving distance is different. We should get a GoFundMe to get Brewer out to the Buckeye Beard Battle, man.
Oh yeah.
Brewer,
Yep.
get him get him some plane tickets so he can come out here because that would be awesome to have Brewer at this. Heck yeah. And then we
Yeah.
got let's see here. Jacked Up says I'll send you pictures of progress, Dino and Bishop. So I don't Bearded Texan, you know this. Jacob is making a handcrafted leather tooled belt for
Yep.
whoever takes best of show. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that thing is going to be awesome. You know what I
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
mean?
gonna be
I'm
epic.
already saying him my size because it's gonna be mine. I know that.
Right, right.
Gotta have
Heck yeah,
confidence,
man.
brother. Gotta
That's
have
Yes,
right.
confidence,
That's
man.
right.
yes, you
That's right.
do. Yes, you do. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Let's
Oh
get into
man.
this. So let's do some final thoughts here to you guys.
Yeah.
So Bearded Texan, let me ask you this. What's in the future for you? Because I know you've been doing your reviews and stuff like that. Anything that you're like gonna dabble in, get into?
I don't
What do
know,
you
man.
know like what companies you into right now? Stuff like that. What do you got going?
Gosh, man, I tell you, as far as the future, man. So a lot of people don't know my story. I am a super
Mm.
introvert, so you don't see me out and about. You
Right,
don't see me on the lives too much. So
Right.
this is like a first time live on a stream like this with y'all.
right,
So it's because technically I'm a real introvert, man, and I started this
right,
whole Bearded Texan thing to improve my public speaking, right? To be able to
right,
get out and talk in
Right.
front of people because it scares the heck out of me. So
right,
I take baby steps, So
right, right, right.
I'll be at a Buckeye Beard Battle,
Mm-hmm.
and grace him with my presence there, and look forward to that. And I just my passion is helping people, and
Right,
you know what, if I can help support small batch companies, and get them going, and just marketing is expensive, man. And
right,
this is what I tell people. You've probably seen it on my reviews. Marketing is expensive, and
Right.
you know what? If everybody has the dream, right? And if I
right,
can help them fulfill their dream of
right,
having a beard company and being successful, man, I'm going to do that.
right,
And you know what? Because I just believe that everything I put out is going to come back to me someday.
right,
And
right,
so my passion is just to keep helping small batch companies,
right,
and do what I can, to
right,
make the world a better place.
right,
Harbor, good fellowship with pens,
right,
and just keep spreading the love to the beard
right,
community, and just being thankful for everything the Lord blesses me with every single day. And
right,
who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I might create my own little stream like you have. It's
right, right.
I do my Friday night things, which
Yeah,
is like,
yeah.
it's my kind of stuff to it. It's
Right,
and and we do that. That's a 5-hour program usually. I mean,
Right.
that's
right, right,
we go till 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Wow.
right,
It's
yeah,
an interesting time, and you
right.
know what? I love that. Yeah, I love that it's turned into. It's kind of become just like a talk session, right? But now it's
Right.
becoming, because we get a lot of regulars. It's almost like, now. See, I don't go to the bar anymore. I don't do any of that stuff.
Right.
It's almost like a bar situation, right? Where you can go and you can talk to your brothers and you can talk things out, and who you're talking to, and we're following up with each other, and certain brothers have had some issues lately.
Right.
People are shooting out, So if
Right.
I could help build that community, keep that community
Mm-hmm.
strong, and
Right.
keep spreading the love within the beer
Right.
community, keep the
Right.
drama out. I'm not a drama guy. I don't like
Right.
drama. I don't subscribe to it.
Right.
You guys know that, and just spread
Right.
the love, man.
Right.
Spread the love, and
Right. You know,
just keep it going.
I think it's cool because like all of us, and there's a lot of other guys too, but we don't play teams when it comes to beer product. If they're a small batch, we get them. We try to help everybody out. It's nobody saying, "Hey, I'm team so and so," or "I'm team so and so." It's like, "Hey, yeah, I've tried them. I want to try them. I'll give them a try. I want to help them out." So that's a cool thing is none of us really like gatekeep against any other
No,
small
Right.
batch companies.
no,
I think
no.
that's super cool. Because
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? It's kind of crazy though. I get a lot of flack,
Mhm.
because I won't post negative reviews.
Right, right,
Right.
And I tell people, I'm like, well, you're not being honest. No, I'm being honest, because if I have
right,
something negative to say, I'm not going to put it out there, because
right,
that's not going to help anybody. I'm going to talk to
right,
the company, right? I'm going to say, hey,
right,
I tried it. These are my thoughts.
right.
Something you might consider. I don't
Do
want to
you
put any kind of negativity out there, because that's not who I
right.
am, and it's not going to help them.
Do you
Right.
find that, my biggest issue with the negative thing is that I have only come across 1 or 2 companies where I was like, "You know what? It just didn't work for me. I didn't like it." Um, all these small batch companies, it seems like the owners are super passionate, right? And they're putting their passion in the product. I really have not come across many that I've had an issue with.
Right.
I think we've kind of come to that standard where everybody is making such awesome product. I think the only way I could be like, for example, if there's a scent profile I don't like, but that would be subjective, right?
It's subjective.
That's
Yeah.
that's the only thing I've ever come across. I've been like, okay, like this scent profile may not be for me, but it could be for you. But the product is stellar. It's just I don't enjoy this type of scent profile.
Sure.
That's
Right.
Sure.
all I've ever come across, to be honest with you, besides 2 when I started really getting into this stuff. But
Yeah.
everybody's making such great stuff, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I've only
Yeah.
come across 2, and that was a percentage
Yeah.
issue on a castor or an argan, right?
Right.
Which or metal foam seed. Metal foam seed oil is, if
Right.
you don't get your metal foam seed oil in there, it's gonna get a little slick,
Right.
And it's only like 2. I've had 2, but you know what? It's constructive criticism. They took it and
Right.
they fixed it.
Right.
And
Right.
one of them I use pretty much all the time now.
Right.
It's crazy. And you mentioned that, you know, all these guys are putting out great product. And I give a lot of credit to the beard owner community because
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah.
they're not siloing themselves.
Right.
Like Greg with Sunshine State Grooming. I know that Bryant from Dead Bands, they help them out.
Right.
These guys are
Right.
talking and helping each other out. And that goes to show the community that
Right.
everybody
Right.
wants to see everybody succeed. And
Yep.
that's
Right.
just awesome in my opinion.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, we
Exactly.
seen it a lot on the show. Chris from True North does it every time with the
Yeah.
information that he does.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
that is you're right about that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Right.
let me ask you something. What time is your show and is it on YouTube? Because I have to
It's
apologize. I know
it's
who you are
not.
because I've seen
Yeah.
you, but
Yeah.
I have never catch your show at all.
Right.
So my show is a live stream, like a live chat show that I run off my Discord channel
Okay.
that's filtered through my Facebook group, the Bearded Texans Corral.
Okay.
And
Right.
there's a link. I do it every Friday night, 10 p.m. Or every Friday from 10 p.m. Central until 4 in the morning. And any given time, it's all video stream. All the guys, I have up to 100 people on video. We
Right.
all
Right.
get together. It's all face to face, like we're doing right here, and it's
Right.
just like we're all sitting around smoking cigars.
Right.
I smoke cigars. Some couple other people smoke cigars,
Right.
and we have a good time. Yeah, it starts out as beard stuff. What did you got? What's new? What'd you get?
Right.
What are you wearing? What'd you get new this week?
Right.
And
Right.
it just develops. And we've all developed this tight knit friendship, and
Right.
Right.
I'd love to have you come on sometime. I'll
Yeah.
shoot you an invite to
Yeah.
the corral,
Yeah.
and I
So
think Wiseman comes on. Like you
right.
said, he's a busy guy, but that
Right.
dude
He
will
comes
pop in
on.
at 1:30 in the morning. That cat will pop in.
Right.
He
Right.
always makes time. It's
Right.
good. But
So
yeah,
I think what I'm going to do, since we're on final thoughts, and I really don't want to do this, but it's got me kind of not freaked out, but it is starting to get weird here with the comments from this guy.
Yep.
I'm gonna give a little. I'm gonna give everybody in the chat a little bit of a backstory on why this is like really weird. So, um, my birthday was last Friday, the 27th, and I come home and I've got this card. Reminds me of a birthday card, right? Open this up. Out comes it. It's a black card. Open it up, and all it says is, "You've been chosen. Sign the maker." Um, didn't think much of it at first. There's no return address on this thing. Whatever. I have a lot of friends that are kind of jokers. I
Right.
was a bodyguard in my past life. I worked at a lot of clubs, so maybe somebody messing with me. Whatever. I didn't really take it as I'm like, okay, ha ha ha. Just turned on my birthday. Whatever. Getting something over on me. Go down to Worlds. I stayed with Chief this past week. So first night, Chief and I are kind of like sitting around, just talking, chatting, and I'm like, hey man, something weird happened to me on my birthday. And he's like, what's up, brother? And I told him, but I'm like, hey, I got this card. And before I could get it out, he goes, you've been chosen. I'm like, he goes, the maker? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, so now I'm like, oh, Chief, you got me. You know what I mean? Good one. You had me worried. He's like, no, dude. He goes, I got one. Okay. So now we start trying to think about what's going on with this. Next thing you know, we're at Worlds. So we're like, we need to ask other content creators. Did they receive a letter? We asked Johnny's Beard. We asked Born Bearded. We asked Baker. Um, we got asked the guys, the Beard Respect. We asked everybody that we could, and nobody got it.
Right.
I called Santa Tom because I'm like, well, maybe here's the link. Maybe it's the Trace Amigos link. Let me get a hold of Santa Tom. Santa Tom did not get one. And then I reached out to Bishop. Bishop didn't get one. Backstage, I asked the Beard and Texan if he got one. He said he didn't get one. So I don't know. And now he popped up. So Saturday at the Worlds, I got an email, and it was a audio clip of Morse code, and it was like 45 seconds long. So Chief's gonna see about getting an app to decipher this Morse code. I don't know Morse code. So you know, um, so we're sitting there, and I thought, well, you know what? Everybody knows you and I
Oh,
are coming to Worlds, Chief. We got that Saturday morning. I'm like, somebody's gonna pop out and be like, "Hey guys, I'm the maker." That's what I was expecting at Worlds. I
right.
thought it was like a big joke gag. Nothing happened. Sunday, during the day, I got comments on some YouTube videos from the maker. And then Sunday night on my other show, the Suplex Syndicate, he appeared in the chat room. And now tonight he's in the chat room.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if this is a joke. I don't know if somebody's trying to reach out. Don't know. So I guess I'm just gonna have to see what's going on. But I mean, I don't. I'm kind of like got a million things going through my head because I'm like, who goes to all this for what? What's the end game? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know why Chief was chosen. I don't know why I was chosen. I figured if they're gonna pick us, they should have picked Santa Tom too because of Trace Amigos, or you Bishop because we're on Monday Night Mayhem, but
Right.
no connection with anything else. So I don't know. So yeah, we
Bring them
got it.
up.
We got to.
Let's
We
hear
got
from
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, my show's
Let's
open
hear
on
from them.
Saturdays. You want to
yeah.
bring
Come
him? I
on.
mean, he can come in.
Come
Right.
on. Let's
So
talk.
right. So we're gonna get to the bottom of this, and I'm sure that he's gonna be around. Or I say he, and I shouldn't even be saying he. I have no idea. It could be a she. Who knows?
Right.
I don't know because, like I said, I haven't heard a voice. I haven't seen pictures, so I
Right.
don't know. So I don't know if it's some elaborate game, but yeah. So just so all of you guys know, and I don't even know if it's a troll, but I mean, I don't think a troll would go as far as sending Chief and I something in the mail, but we'll see, and we'll see what happens with this. But all right,
Right.
I've given enough attention to that person.
Yeah.
That was it. Just kind of fill everybody in. Whatever. It's probably somebody playing a joke on me and Chief. We probably
Right.
we
Hey,
probably did a we probably did a bad review on. Well, I haven't really done a
I
bad
was gonna
review. I
say
don't know.
that, or
Yeah.
probably a new company trying to, make an expression. Hey, if it is that, it's genius, and you made
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
but
I don't. Like I said, I don't know. But I guess we'll find out
yeah,
more.
sooner or
Whatever.
later, right?
But yeah. But I got to tell you, man. I enjoyed having you on here, Beard Texan. This can't be the last time you come on because
No, man.
there's
No.
so much more that we could talk about, and there's
Oh, for
so
sure.
much more that in the chats. Yeah, but yeah, it would be really cool
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this.
Like I said, time's getting a lot more freed up these days with,
Right.
like I said, with
Right,
my job's winding down in November. I'll probably have a little time off before I start my
right,
next venture. So
right,
time's not as precious as it used to be. So
right.
yeah, keep me posted. We can do this again for sure.
Yeah, definitely have
Sure.
fun. Any final thoughts, Bishop?
Uh, you know, I have not got an update from Chief, so that's
Okay,
last update we
right,
got was that they kicked him out of the room.
right,
Uh, it's we just pray for you, for your family, Chief, to your daughter, the baby, that come out, everything come out right. Um, and everybody in the chat, always love you guys. Next Saturday, my show goes in again. I'll have Copper Johns and hopefully Logan. I'm excited to be at the uh, Buckeye Beer Battle in September, my first one. I'm gonna be representing Jacob Leatherwork and Small Town
Yeah.
Tradition.
Heck
So
yeah.
I'm definitely
Super.
excited about that. Definitely.
Nice.
It was a great show. Like I said, I'm gonna send me if you can, Beer Texan, send me a link. I definitely want to, I want to watch
Absolutely.
it. I like learning from people, right? I've only been doing
Right.
this for a year and a half, and I like learning from people. So
Sure, man. I'd love to have you on, man. Just you get to know the
Right.
people, man. It's
right,
really fun. Really good time.
Right. Exactly. Um, I'm gonna do my best because like Santa Tom is one of my mentors. Everybody loves Santa Tom, so I try to pay homage to Santa Tom at this. Thank you everybody for your support. Thanks for coming and watching the show. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. But as the great Santa Tom would say, the world could use a little bit more love. Be nice to everybody, show love, treat everybody as though you're a brother or a sister, give them that love. And on the Monday Night Mayhem show, and I know I speak for the Bearded Texan, thank you very much. We love you all. Thank you for all the support that you show us all the time. And we will see you next week, hopefully with Granddaddy Chief.
yep,
He'll have a great, exciting story. And you guys will get to actually see the
the
new
new
cut
style.
of Bearded
Yeah,
Chief's beard.
The new
It
cut.
is fantastic. But thank you everybody for coming out. And I guess we should say thanks for all the sponsorship too.
yeah,
From
for sure.
yeah,
All the
thank you
sponsorships.
to the sponsors. Yeah, but
Yeah.
thank you everybody, and let us know if you want to have the bearded Texan back on because we got to get this guy to come back on. He's
Right.
definitely coming back on. All right, guys, my brothers, thank you for being on the show. Take care. Love you all. See you next Monday, and see you on the Trace Amigos show Thursday.
Bye.